MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor, who of course is not stopping at all. And this is kind of crazy. You know, his DCA strategy that I've been talking about for years, you know, it's something that we all could have mimicked, right? Just basically DCA. You don't have to worry about tops or bottoms. If you have the money, you just continue to DCA. But recently, he has gone pretty crazy, like really leveraging his company to buy as much Bitcoin as he can. It is really not about DCAing anymore. It's really about leveraging. So as you can see, within the last month or two, okay, he has acquired 200,000 Bitcoin. So he basically doubled the amount of Bitcoin he now holds within 2 months. That is crazy, okay? For good and for bad. Yesterday I showed a clip that he said basically he was selling off shares. And he was able to do that, and people believed in it because he put down Bitcoin as collateral. So he gave an example where he sold $1.5 billion worth of shares. He put down $500 million worth of Bitcoin as collateral, right? Net gain of $1 billion. What did he do? Well, he took that $1.5 billion, right? And he bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So his example is, well, if I could do that, I could just keep doing it. Now that I have $1.5 billion worth more of Bitcoin, well, then now I could issue $5 billion worth of stock, right? And with that $5 billion worth of stock, I can buy $5 billion worth more of Bitcoin. And then once I have $5 billion worth more Bitcoin, I can issue, I don't know, $8 billion worth of stock, right? Like, it's just like a forever rolling leverage strategy, right? That's what basically he was talking about. And it kind of sounds scary. It kind of sounds like he's using this strategy and just like leveraging way too much at this point. But that's what he's been doing basically, and that's how he was able to acquire 200,000 Bitcoin within like 2 months, which is crazy. Short term, I guess it's good because it's taking Bitcoin out of circulation, right? That's what we want. Like ETFs is doing it, he's doing it, and of course, many other companies are now implementing Bitcoin strategy and doing it. Marathon and Riot and Hut 8, which are big Bitcoin miners, they're doing it as well. And of course, other companies are doing it. So overall, we're seeing a lot of companies contributing to supply shock, which of course, over time, is going to cause Bitcoin to go up. But, you know, the bad is he's really leveraging MicroStrategy. And also the big elephant in the room is, do we really want one entity to hold now 2.12% of the total supply of Bitcoin, which is quite a lot. And that will only increase from here on out, right? So that's the question. We'll see. We'll see. But he's not going to stop, of course. And we're going to get more ETFs based on companies like MicroStrategy. For example, Bitwise is going to have ETF for companies that are holding over 1,000 Bitcoin in their treasury. So, of course, that's going to include MicroStrategy, and it's going to include a lot of other companies that hold Bitcoin, right? And it's just more exposure for people that want to get involved. Strive, which is Vivek's company, is trying to launch this Bitcoin Bond ETF, which is basically an ETF that buys bonds issued by companies like MicroStrategy, right? That are buying Bitcoin. So again, So what Saylor is doing is working, right? There's an appetite for this. So there are many companies that are buying the bonds that, or stock, whatever, that MicroStrategy is selling because they believe that this is a less risky option than buying Bitcoin itself. They like this play. There's downside protection, right? And now Vivek wants to come out with an ETF that invests in these kind of bonds, and then you can invest in this kind of ETF. It's starting to get a little complicated, but again, it's working. And of course, all this comes down to if there's more buying pressure on Bitcoin, then it's better for all of us, right? That's ultimately what we want. We want more buy pressure on Bitcoin. Now, overall, last few things I want to share. Short-term volatility will always happen. Corrections always happen, right? But when you zoom out and you look at the bigger picture, and I know most of you guys know this, when you look at a bigger picture, you know where we're heading, right? You look at the prior cycles, you look at the previous years, it's never in a straight line upwards. There's a lot of dips and, volatility along the way, right? But what happens eventually? Bitcoin just continues upwards and goes higher and makes a new high. It happens every single cycle. Happens because that's just how it is, right? Well, it's not just how it is, because Bitcoin is scarce. Okay, that's the reason why, right? Supply and demand. Demand goes up, supply keeps on decreasing. That's the reason why. In 2025, as you guys know, will definitely be bullish. With Trump coming into office, appointing everyone in his cabinet and everyone in basically everyone in his cabinet and everyone that's governing crypto, they're all pro-crypto, and it's going to be very crypto favorable, administration and laws and everything else, framework and everything. It's going to be very good next year. Very, very, very good. And plus, based on fundamentals, which is still improving, we have never had better fundamentals than now with Bitcoin and with most of the crypto that I talk about every single day. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. There's no way we're stopping. This will continue on going upwards, and you guys will forget about what's going on right now, right? You guys know this, but I'm re-emphasizing the message here, right? So, like what I've been saying, don't panic. Take advantage if you can, but if you can't, just continue to hodl and continue to educate yourself and continue to learn and look forward to the future.